Welcome to Week 9 in the 2014 NFL season, but no Raiders football this week. It is the bye week. After one half of the season, the Oakland Raiders take their off week with a 5-3 record coming off of a loss to the undefeated Carolina Panthers, and they currently reside in second place in the AFC West. But the obvious story of the past week has been the quarterback controversy in Oakland. Patrick Papagiannopoulos was injured a few weeks ago against the San Diego Chargers. Since then, Logan Cannon has been the starter, and now that Big Papa is healthy, Logan Cannon is still the starter. And a lot of people are surprised, upset, especially after last week's loss, which was probably Cannon's worst start so far, only his third NFL start. And when you look at the situation, it is very odd because Big Papa was just a rookie last year. He is the defending Offensive Rookie of the Year after being just a 6th round draft pick and playing because Carson Palmer suffered some injuries last year. And Papa has played well. He hasn't played great, but he has showed some promise. But one other thing he has shown is the inability to stay healthy. And we saw how good he was mid-season last year when he took over for Carson and remained the starter for a large portion of the year. But then, remember, he did not finish the last 3 games, and the Raiders missed the playoffs, and Carson Palmer became a free agent. And with the only 2 quarterbacks on the roster being Terrell Pryor and Big Papa, obviously they had to sign somebody or draft somebody, and they chose to draft Logan Cannon in the 3rd round. And some may ask why they drafted a quarterback so high when they had Big Papa play so well. And obviously you want to have a good backup quarterback in case your starter goes down. And it seems like the Raiders were doing their best to plan for that exact situation. And it seems that this decision was not based on talent, but durability. And Papa missed 3 games to end last year, and he's missed 2 games this year, but he's also been taken off the field on numerous occasions for minor injuries that he's come back out for. And so maybe it's just that simple and they don't trust Papa to stay healthy, and so Cannon, for now at least, is the guy. But we'll see how that situation works itself out going forward into the second half of the season. But let's focus on some other players on the team now. And Dyron Orr has been an impactful rookie so far. Only 15 catches, but 3 touchdowns, working himself into that 4 spot once in a while, and the 3 with Denarius Moore being out to begin the season. And it's no surprise that he's played better and had more production when he has his college quarterback throwing to him in Logan Cannon. Aaron Cain has also played very well in the offensive line, is much better than last year, and Aaron Cain has been everything as advertised. Let's take a look at some stats now, as we've already talked about quarterbacks, so we'll move on to different position groups. And Darren McFadden has had a good year so far, 846 yards halfway through the season, 8 touchdowns, could have the best year of his career if he keeps up this pace. In the passing game, the quarterbacks have done a good job of spreading the ball around. AJ Ray still has the most catches and yards. Dyron Orr, though, most touchdown catches on the team. On defense, once again a very strong year from Lamar Houston, 10 sacks at the midway point. He could be pushing for that record. Michael Strahan could be getting a little nervous. And James Hazzard is the only Raider this year to force a fumble, surprisingly. In the NFL standings, the Carolina Panthers and the Green Bay Packers are your only undefeated teams remaining. As we take a look at the standings now, division by division, AFC North being led by the Baltimore Ravens, the Houston Texans, the Raiders' next opponent on top of the AFC South, the Dolphins and Patriots duking it out in the East, while the Jets and Bills hold up the basement. In the AFC West, very competitive. No team below 500. Raiders currently a half game back of the Broncos, who have already had their bye week. In the North, the Packers and Bears in a great shootout for first place, as the Lions and Vikings hold up the rear. In the NFC South, the Carolina Panthers, of course, the NFL's #1 team, in first place. In the NFC East, the New York Giants ahead of the Cowboys, Skins, and Eagles, which are all below 500. And the NFC West, thought we would see a resurgence, but so far all 4 teams have been very weak. A look at the league leaders, as Aaron Rodgers currently has the most passing yards on the season. Peyton Manning leads in touchdowns with 23, and Blaine Gabbert has the most picks with 15. In the running game, D'Angelo Williams, the only running back currently over 1,000 yards on the season, having a fantastic year. And receiving, we see Larry Fitzgerald at the top, along with Jeremy Maclin asserting himself as one of the top receivers in the NFL. And we see Lamar Houston is also the NFL's leading sack totaler, with Mark Fightmaster having the most interceptions. And that will conclude the bye week for the Oakland Raiders. Next week in action, they'll be back at it at Reliance Stadium on the road to face the Houston Texans, a 6-2 team leading the AFC South as the Raiders look for win number 6. And so football action returns next week, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week from Houston.